I think the goals and the expectations for this season are always going to be the same as they are in the past, which is trying to win a championship and trying to build a program that can compete with anybody in the conference. Being picked second obviously says that a lot of teams in our conference respect where our program is. So we have a lot of work to do still coming out of camp, but our team is finally putting together some chemistry and is working extremely hard, so we're looking forward to a really good season. We returned a lot on offense, with E.J. Snyder coming back as a quarterback. We returned 3 wide receivers, 3 tailbacks, so our skill level on offense is going to be outstanding. We have a lot of experience. Up front, we returned 3 out of those 5 guys too, so offensively we return a ton of guys. I think right now the big question is going to be defensively up front, which coming out of camp we're real excited. We've had some great competition with A.J. Koikoi, John Cox, Leo Chubinishvili, Troy Harrison. So I think a lot of people will think we'll take a step back there. As a staff, we don't. I think defensively our back end at the safety position with Brian Velasco, he'll be a 3-year starter. Aaron Fant is a 2-year starter. Paul McGann you're going to see playing both ways at corner and wide receiver. Ryan Fulner played last year for us at safety. So we're pretty good in the secondary right now. We have some other guys that add some depth with Trey Henderson and Jordan Blair. And then at the linebacker position, we seem to be in pretty good shape. Ryan Young, John Stark, and Brendan Wangert all have a lot of game experience. And there's some other seniors in there too that are going to help us. Tyler Pollock, Chase Andriossi. There's some young guys that we've seen through camp that are going to help us, and Stephen Elf and Matt McLaughlin. So so I think really the big thing is that we have a lot of experience back that can mentor some of the younger kids, bring them along. Not at a quick pace, but good enough to be an impact in the game. So we're real excited about where we're coming out of camp. Last year, we had some outstanding guys up front. We lost Kenny Provost and C.T. Marsh, and those guys they're always hard to replace. And it's not really their playing ability; it's their leadership. Obviously, they were great players, but it's what they bring to your team in terms of work ethic at practice and what they bring out of the other guys. Losing Sam Massaro in the middle. Sam was a 4-year starter for us and was a great player, so we'll miss him. And there's a bunch of other seniors too that left. Devin Hunter, who was an outstanding punter for us and tight end. Sam Wojciechowski and Sammy Kagos were all conference linemen. So we did lose some guys. I think through recruiting, I think we've done a better job at bringing in talented kids that can fill the void with those guys leaving. So I don't think we're going to take a huge drop off. I think those guys have raised the bar and made it hard for guys to step in. So they had to compete all that time, and it's made them ready to play now. The freshman class, we brought in 34 guys, and it's a really good group. We had a short camp, so only having about 7 or 8 days before their orientation. I think the mental aspect probably has some of them trying to figure it out. It's college football, but there's a lot of talented kids. Some of the names you're going to probably hear this year that we think are ready to play for us. Brendan Daly, who's a tailback for us right now, is in the mix. Bobby Keys and Andrew DeStefano at wideout are both doing an outstanding job. In the offensive line, there's 4 guys or 5 guys that we brought in who you might not see this year, but really all have the ability to help us down the road. You're going to see a freshman tight end, Craig Hamilton, who's done an outstanding job and might have a chance to see some time this year if he keeps progressing the way he is. And then on the defensive side, you're going to hear the names of guys up front. John Najee is probably going to play for us at some point this year. A guy like Dan Reardon, who's been banged up but might have a chance. Stephen Elf, Matt McLaughlin at the linebacker level, and that doesn't mean there's some other guys too at that level who might have to wait a year, but Nate English and Tyler Petrie, who's a local kid from Conestoga Valley, Zach Herman at safety. So the freshmen have done an outstanding job. You might see some freshmen in our special teams. We brought in two kickers and punters in Connor Ryan and Cody Hubbs. And both guys have done a really, really good job, and we're really looking forward to seeing what they can do in the future. Preseason's been really good. It was a little short this year, so again, I think for your freshmen, it's a little tough to get them in the mix. But I think the best thing about preseason was the team chemistry that we had. The kids came back in great shape, ready to go. there's an excitement around our team. I mean, our kids have high expectations. I mean, they want to compete at a high level. It's very important to them. And, you know, they're here for two reasons. One is school and the other is football. And it shows every day we go out there. And again, I think it all starts with the senior leadership on this team and how it's trickled down to our younger guys and how hard they work. We're going to have 3 tough ones coming right out of the gate then as we start the season. Washington and Lee has been to the national playoffs 3 of the last 4 years. I mean, you don't get a better non-conference opponent and a bigger challenge because, again, they're good every year. So we're really looking forward to that one. You know, it's going to be a long trip for us, and we're going to see what we're made of when we go down there. And then we come out and we play 2 teams that were picked high in our conference, in Muhlenberg and Ursinus, who have always been in the mix in terms of trying to win the conference. So the way the schedule sets up is, you know, we have to be ready to go right away, or we're going to find ourselves in a hole. So, you know, I think the kids know that, and I think that's why they're working hard, and we got a lot to prove early. The biggest positive about this team is how much fun they're having. I mean, really, I mean, the staff has said it, you know, I see it, our kids see it, that every day we go out, how much fun they're really having and being around each other. You know, again, there's no egos on this team. You know, they're all there to try and push each other, you know, and whether it's they're playing 1 play, no play, or 100 plays, I think every guy knows they're part of something bigger than themselves, and it's something pretty special.